Hello and welcome to this Price of Job tutorial. In this video we'll take a look at the new drainage module. To access the drainage module, first go to the module toolbar here across the top and select the plumbing category, and then choose drainage. Then we can click create to create this module. And this opens the new drainage module, which gives us options for estimating soil pipes and fittings, waste pipes and fittings, and underground pipes and fittings. And if we expand the sketch pane here, we see that Price Job includes some of the most commonly referenced regulations regarding drainage for sinks, wash basins, baths, toilets, and the plumbing stack. For each of these, we can see the minimum slope, pipe diameters, and connection offsets. And this just makes for a very handy reference for correct installation. Let's start by taking a look at the soil pipes and fittings. Here in the soil pipes and fittings stage, we can select the soil pipes button here to open the soil pipes window. And here we have a variety of categories of materials to choose from, including black soil pipes and fittings, grey soil pipes and fittings, drainage allowance, pan connectors, sealants, screws, and plugs. So for example, if we want to add some single socket soil pipe, we have the options of choosing either black or grey. In this case, let's choose black, and we'll just click on that to add it to our list. Then we can also add some access pipe, and maybe some pipe clips. And then for each of these, we can go to the top here and use the buttons to adjust our quantity. So perhaps we want a total of 9 meters of soil pipe. And for access pipes, we might want 3 of those as well. And for pipe clips, we can take a full dozen. And if we were to add something accidentally to our list and we do not need it, we can remove it easily enough just by clicking the bin icon. You'll notice in the background that as we add these items and change our quantities, our estimate is updating automatically. Then we can go ahead and maybe choose some sealants, and we might choose to add a couple of tubes of silicone. And then we can close this window, and we can see that Price Job has added all of the materials to our estimate, as well as the anticipated labor for installing these materials. Here in the stage, we can see that Price Job has estimated the labor hours to be 4.4 labor hours. But if we have a particularly complex scenario, we can override this if we wish. So let's go ahead and bump this up to 7 hours. And that's reflected here within our estimate. Next, we can take a look at the waste pipes and fittings stage. So again, we'll go ahead and click on the button to open our solvent waste window. And here we have a variety of categories for white solvent waste, black solvent waste, grey solvent waste, overflow pipes and fittings, traps, wastes, drainage allowance, sealants, screws, and plugs. So again, similar to what we saw in the soil pipes, we have options of choosing either white, black, or grey solvent waste pipes. And for each of these, we have options of choosing either the 32, 40, or 50 millimeter pipes. So let's go ahead and choose some 40 millimeter pipe, and maybe a matching T. And we'll add some couplers as well. And for these, we can adjust the quantities here. We'll increase that to 4. And we can increase the T and couplers as well if we wish. If we take a look at the overflow pipes category, we can add some overflow pipe, some T's, we can add a couple of bends, and a 40 millimeter reducer. And then we can adjust the quantities of these as well. So let's go ahead and add some extra pipes, an extra bend, and 1 reducer should be sufficient. And when we're done, we can just close this window, and we see everything is added to our estimate here. And if we realize that there's anything that we forgot to add, we can just go back to that same window, go back to the category we want, and maybe we want to add an air admittance valve. And that is added, as well as the estimated labor for all of these various accessories. Here we can see the time estimate calculated automatically by Price Job, and again, depending on the situation, we can adjust this as necessary. Let's bump that up to 7 hours as well. And that's reflected here within the estimate. And you'll notice that as we've been adding to our estimate, that our automatic description has been updating for us, with a detailed description of all of our various materials. If we wish to add a note, we can do so just by clicking the Add Note, and then we can add our custom notes here. Next, we'll take a look at the underground pipes and fittings stage, and again, we'll click the underground pipes button here to open our underground pipes window. And here we have a variety of categories for underground drainage: 110 mils, 160 mils, and 200 mils. If we prefer to have a pipes and fittings allowance, we can select this category here, and then put an allowance for pipes and fittings, pipes alone, fittings allowance, first fix plumbing materials, pipes and fittings, or just general materials. So let's go ahead and add a pipes and fittings allowance. And then we can input a value here for the price, excluding VAT, so let's say £50 per unit. And then we can adjust the quantity, and we can see that Price a Job automatically calculates that to be £60, and this would be the base cost of £50 plus the profit, and then VAT would be calculated here at the project total. So when we're done, we can go ahead and close this window, and we can see that that has been added to our estimate. Price a Job automatically calculates our labor hours total, so we can click this for a labor hours summary, and we can see that the total project is calculated at 14 hours assigned to a plumber tradesperson, with an estimate of 1.75 days. If we wish to, we can filter these materials to provide only the labor, or alternately, we can provide only the materials and subcontract the labor, or leave all selected for a complete estimate. When you're done, you can go to the Reports tab here, and Price a Job automatically creates a nicely detailed quote for you, and here you can choose to show either a simple or advanced quotation. You can include the price in the total, in the subtotal, in the stages, as well as the pricing details. And in the advanced quotation, you can choose to show or hide the description, the materials, the labor, the pricing, and the units. When you're done, you can print this quotation, download it as a PDF, export it as a Word document, or email it directly to your client from within Price a Job. And that's how to use the new drainage module. Thank you for using Price a Job.